and welcome to Pale Blue Pod, the astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but still want to be its friend.
I'm Connie. I'm definitely overwhelmed by the universe and a lot of other stuff, but Moiya's here to help me be its friend.
Oh, hi everyone. I am Moiya. I'm an astrophysicist and a folklorist, and I'm overwhelmed by Earth, so the universe comforts me greatly.
And I understand that, and I appreciate the ways in which you help me realize the order of the universe and how we can, be inspired by it here.
Inspiration all around us, literally. And sometimes that inspiration leads us to be goofy, because usually it's inspiring us to be very serious, and we need the decimal places, and we need the significant figures, and
the very numerical nomenclature for naming
the
planets,
technical nomenclature is incredibly important. But sometimes, just sometimes, friends, the inspiration goes goofy, and especially around this time of year, after April Fool's Day, astronomers like to get goofy.
I had no idea. And it's like, y'all are still nerds, y'all are still nerds. You're going to do nerd stuff. So it makes sense, but it's just like, I had no idea. I love this.
For people who want more history on this tradition of astronomers writing joke April Fool's Day papers, go back to the April Fool's episode from about 2024, or maybe 2023. I know Corinne and I have done this before, and we talked about the history. But today we're just going to jump right into the papers. There were 102 new astronomy papers that were posted to the archive on April 1st. From their titles alone, because I went through reading all the titles, 18 of them seem to be April Fool's jokes. The rest seem to be legitimate papers.
Oh, like people who don't know, or like it's just timed that way?
April Fool's is not a thing everywhere in the world.
Fair. Very fair.
And people are publishing papers everywhere in the world.
Yeah. So you got to weed out the joke ones from the real ones.
18 of them seem to be jokes, which I think is maybe fewer than in recent years. But I'm not going to talk about all 18 of them. These are my favorites, and I'm breaking them down into some categories. Occasionally there are categories, but sometimes it's just like an honorable mention or a little award that I want to give. Starting off with an honorable mention here for the paper that was released on April 1st that sounds like it should be a joke paper, but indeed was not a joke paper, but instead a very serious paper about string theory. The paper was titled Warm, Warped Throats.
Oh, no.
So you can see why I might have thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
A quote.
Oh, no.
A brief quote from the abstract of the paper. We investigate brain inflation. BRANE. I did look that up.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
It's a real type of thing. They're talking about, I believe, the inflation of the universe. So we investigate brain inflation, focusing on warm inflation realizations within a warped throat geometry.
Now, why that particular turn of phrase? Why is that a translation mishap? Or
no, I don't think it's a translation. I'm trying to pull it up.
What can throat mean in this? What does throat mean outside of like the body part and maybe euphemism?
Well, no, I know that in wormhole theory, they talk about the throats being the entrance and exit to the wormhole. In science, we just have weird names for things sometimes. So it is legitimate, but it gives me pause. And there was, especially when I was going through the paper, a section that I was like, there's no way these people didn't intentionally put this out on April Fool's. Like, it's a serious paper, but they knew what they were doing. Because section 2 of this paper is titled D3 Brain at the Tip. Why they do that. So, yeah, that's the honorable mention paper. Not a joke, but I feel like I've been pranked.
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been
Yeah.
an April 2nd. Like, oh, we're continuing the joke, but we're serious.
So we're just getting that out of the way. Now into the actual joke papers.
Okay.
We're starting with a folklore paper.
Oh.
It's called Detecting Atmospheric Deterrence Against Interstellar Monsters. And
It's like, this wasn't you?
it was not me. No, the authors are David Rice and Michael Radke. I think I may have met both of them at conferences before. But throughout the paper, they're imagining what if there are supernatural creatures on other planets and they have special types of atmospheres that are related to those supernatural creatures. They focus on 3 in the paper. Here's a quote from the abstract saying what they're doing. We consider 3 folklore-motivated deterrents against monsters. And they find some atmospheres may encode not only biosignatures, but also evidence that the local biosphere has stopped being afraid of the dark. Imagining that the life forms on those planets that are not the supernatural creatures will somehow manipulate their atmosphere to deter those monsters, according to what we know from folklore about them. So they have a section on photophobic interstellar hematophages. Do you have any idea what type of supernatural creature that might be?
So something that fears light, because photophobic, and then interstellar, obviously like from another planet. But are we talking about the planet of like another planet?
That doesn't matter. It's just saying space.
And space. Hematophages. Hema to me is blood related, but I don't know about tophages.
So what supernatural creature do you think?
Vampire.
Yes. So these are imagining a planet where vampires are real.
Okay.
And what could the other people living on that planet, do to it to deter the vampires, or maybe deter space vampires from visiting them? And
It sounds like an episode of Exolore.
very much so. Yes. The paper determines that these space vampires could be deterred with a couple different chemical compounds like dimethyl sulfide or dimethyl disulfide. Both of these have garlicky odors. So if you put enough of it in the atmosphere, then the vampires won't want to go there.
Okay. So like an Italian kitchen.
In
Many
smell
kitchens.
only, but I feel like this is making an assumption that what actually deters vampires away
just
from
the
garlic is the smell
Yeah.
and not some other maybe more mystical or
like
other like airborne thing.
Yeah, because in many vampire stories, they've been around food. We've not necessarily like, I guess there are, if it's like a garlicky meal, they'll be like, no.
Right.
But it's about ingesting to me, as opposed to just the smell, you know?
Ingesting or not, I think that, there are multiple things that it could be. So I take issue with that. The second section is about lunacyclic extrasolar morphofauna.
Okay. So
Amazing.
Yeah, some sort of werewolf, but plants?
Yes. No.
Oh, fauna is right. Yeah, fauna is the human, the creatures.
So they imagine that the extrasolar morphofauna could be deterred from visiting a planet if there was sufficient silver haze in the atmosphere. And then the third section is for halophobic space specters. Ghosts.
Okay.
Ghosts, and that they could be deferred with a salt-rich atmosphere. And for each of these different sections, the authors go through and say how detectable would these types of atmospheres be, and how strong would a signal need to be in order to actually deter these vampires or werewolves or ghosts traveling through space. And it turns out that these types of atmospheres could be detectable.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Someone should do that with Superman. Because it reminds me of like how Superman has like on Krypton, he does not have the same powers that he does on Earth. It's Earth's sun that give him different powers. And so it's like,
which is
something
kind
about
of ridiculous, but
Earth.
okay.
Yeah, it's like something about our sun and our whatever, Yeah, it would be an interesting experiment for the same reason.
This paper gives you, I think, an idea of what a joke astronomy paper is like. The premise is often ridiculous, but then astronomers do real science. They do real math. They invent computer codes. They go all out to actually follow this joke premise through. So you'll see that in the rest of the papers.
Yeah, it's a great exercise for sure.
The next category has two papers that I think were about social commentary that ended up making me kind of sad.
Oh, no.
It's fine. It's fine. Jokes can be sad. The first is called Lots of Shade on Satellite Constellations. It's by Michael B. Lund. And I went through and looked at Michael B. Lund's other papers on the archive. They're all April Fool's papers. He's a postdoc out in California. All of the papers that are to his name that I can find are April Fool's papers, which makes no sense if he's a postdoc. So I wonder if he publishes under like a different name for his actual papers. I'm so curious. Michael, if you're listening, please reach out and tell us what you're doing.
Yeah. I love the commitment to the game, though, you know?
Going back, to 2017,
wow,
2018. Like
that's real commitment.
All of his papers, yes. So this paper this year is throwing shade at satellite constellations, especially Starlink. And he's talking about the rate at which, especially private companies, are launching satellites out into space to orbit the Earth. And he includes this graph of the number of active satellites out in orbit around Earth at a specific year, and it's a logarithmic curve. So the y-axis doesn't go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes 1, 10, 100, 1,000. And even with that exponential scale on the vertical axis, you see these like sharp rises of the graph.
Like mid to end of the 60s, and then definitely in the 2010s up through 2020. And now it's like skyrocketed. That's crazy.
Yeah. So in like 2025, 2026, there are more than 10,000 satellites out there.
Wow.
And he then extrapolates that to the like, where will that trend go next? And he determines we have until 2031 to figure out a solution to this next challenge, which is that at this rate of skyrocketing satellite output, we would reach this threshold only a few hours before reaching full Earth containment with satellites covering 100% of the available sky, setting our new doomsday to Friday, March 28th, 2031. This is ridiculous. Like this is not this is not real. This is the Kessler effect on level 11.
Are we sure?
But I do think yes. But I think
certain billionaires won't just be like, just throw them up. Let's go.
But I mean, billionaires are already doing that. And like earlier this week, I saw something about a private company that wants to launch mirrors up into space to reflect sunlight back at night. Like the people can just launch things up if you have enough money. And I think that this joke paper, much like The Onion and other satire, is scarily pointing out the fact that we need to have a serious conversation about that. And they do explicitly call out Starlink because fuck Starlink. And fuck Elon Musk. And I've been on that train since they launched the first satellite constellations. So they're ruining the night sky. Like, yes, he's ruining Earth too, but now he's ruining my place of peace.
Right. Where you go to escape him.
Yes. Rude.
Colonizer.
Ass. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The second paper in this category that's like a sad social commentary is called AI Cosplaying as Astrophysicists, a controlled synthetic agent study of AI-assisted astrophysical research workflows. This is by Chun Huang, and they wrote a comment when they uploaded the paper saying, this began as an April Fool's idea and regrettably became a real methods paper.
Oh. So in the end, it's not really an April Fool's paper?
I mean, what's humor's real, right? Sometimes. Yeah. So the method here from the abstract says they simulated 144 synthetic researchers, varying in career stage, AI awareness, and willingness to verify outputs. And then tested them across 2,592 daily astrophysics research assignments. What they found was that there was no assisted policy or like no AI assistant that universally outperformed unassisted work. So there's no AI tool that universally made someone better at research. In its current form, AI is useful. I'm quoting. In its current form, AI is useful, but only conditionally. Its value is uneven, task-specific, and shaped jointly by workflow, usage, and which LLM you're using. And then there's this nice little diagram. I really appreciate so to describe the diagram, on the left, this is the group of AI researchers that they generated using AI.
Picture like a video game character, but obviously made with AI. Or maybe actually they may not have made it with AI, but it is intended to look like AI style. But I don't know.
I don't know if it is.
No?
I don't know if it is. But the issue I take with it is that this is a very diverse group of people. So this is already not representative of the astrophysicist pool.
Right.
So that's issue number one with the study.
Or the AI use community. But I guess is that part of the point?
No, this is all about astrophysicists using AI in their research. So this is not representative of what astrophysicists actually look like. In my dreams, this is what we would look like. There's like
absolutely
one white lady there.
More brown people, or more brown people than not.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
And not a single white man.
That would be lovely. So then there's this group of people that is generated. And then in the middle of the diagram, there's all of the things about those people that gets varied. So their career stages, some of them are grad students, postdocs, or professors. The subfield of astronomy, whether they're studying exoplanets or high energy physics. And then their AI use style and all sorts of other things, like the specific task that they're doing. And it ran through all of those different tasks a bunch of times with this model, and found that sometimes the AI researcher would experience what they called catastrophic failure, where especially if the task depended on physical reasoning or like intuition, then it would lead to catastrophic failure. They found that AI was most beneficial in research when the work product rewards reformulation, structured extraction, critique, or bounded debugging. So like if you are trying to debug a specific part of your code with a known syntax, if you are trying to extract a specific subset of data from a whole sample, that's what AI is going to be good at doing. But if you need to understand the underlying physics of a situation, then AI will write a paper or something that sounds good and sounds like a reasonable explanation, but is based on completely wrong math or just like completely impossible physics.
Yeah. As someone who is engaged with AI in a different way because of work, I absolutely agree. It's like you have to know what you're doing in order to use it. And that is like about whatever it is, not just like AI, whatever. It's like you have to have your own brain. And that is why it is so much more dangerous that it's being used in schools, because like the kids don't have a brain yet. So like they can't verify. You have to teach them how to do that before you can teach them to use the AI. Because if I'm using it and if it gives you resources and stuff, I know how to check the resources and go look and make sure that it's telling me what it says it's telling me. But younger children,
like you've touched a card catalog,
yeah. Like I learned how to use the library in like 4th grade, and like I've had to use it like very often. So like, yeah, it's just. Yeah, I can agree that there are definitely uses for it. There are a lot of things that they are promoting that is not the use for it, but the things that it's useful for, it's honestly like you have to know how to wield it. You can't just give magic to a child and not have, well, it's April Fool's. You can't just give magic to a child and be like, hey, give me a castle. Like, you might actually have to teach the child how to do that first. Matilda didn't know how to just like write F-U parents.
Miss Trunchbull.
Yeah, and Miss Trunchbull, she needed to wiggle the pencil first. You got to know how to manage the magic.
Yeah, you need to know what the magic is actually doing in order to wield it properly.
Exactly.
And there are so many people who are using AI, using machine learning, using Gaussian mixture models without totally understanding how the algorithm works. And it's just a black box to them that spits out an answer. And
that's why the output is so bad. It's like the output is bad, guys. Like,
yeah,
it's not good.
And that paper was a stark reminder that we need to pay extra attention in the coming years.
Absolutely.
That's the last serious one, though. The next ones are silly.
Okay.
You want a silly one?
Oh, please. After that, I definitely need one because it's like AI is going to take over and no one will be able to think, or like we won't be able to see the stars because there are too many satellites in the way.
Yes, that's why I did that at the beginning. I hope people bore with us.
Yes.
We're about to get goofier.
Okay, great.
This next section is the food category.
Oh,
there were 3 papers.
Oh boy.
And I think I'm talking about 2 of them. There were 3 different papers that all had to do with food. The first one, it's called On the Detection of DiGiorno-like Objects in the Flavor Zone. Oh, you were drinking water. I'm sorry.
I have an agenda. And I was looking at the word, and I was like, Diagamo, like the letters, it's farther away. And I was just like, okay, just listening, whatever. And I was like, is that supposed to be DiGiorno? And then you said it, and I was like, oh, it really is.
Yes, DiGiorno.
Okay.
DiGiorno-like objects.
You know what? Because I love for you to break things down to me in very like real, tangible ways. This system might actually work for me. You know what? How much of a DiGiorno pizza is this galaxy?
If only it were that useful as a metric. So, first of all, the authors are Logan Pierce, real person, and Sue Do Nim.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's the last paper we're talking about has amazing names, but there are some really good names between now and then. So Pseudonym and Logan Pierce wrote about the flavor zone, which is the optimal distance from a star that you can be to cook food. And they are specifically making their calculations based on the cooking instructions for a DiGiorno pizza. For the sun.
That's
and
the control.
They do.
That's the base for it.
That's the base. They do give a chart for the flavor zone of different types of stars.
Okay.
For the sun, the flavor zone is from 0.31 to 0.35 astronomical units. Mercury orbits at about 0.39 astronomical units. So you got to be a little bit closer than Mercury to cook a DiGiorno pizza with the heat from the sun.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. There's a little picture of the pizza.
There's a picture here, yes.
Of the pizza literally just like beamed in front of the sun. And so this is like at whatever temperature the box says, like, or however long.
425.
Okay, so at 425 for what, 20 minutes or whatever? It's like, oh, that's...
It's 18 to 21.
So finding the place, so finding the distance in space where that would be possible just by itself, just straight up in space.
Yes. And they also go extra in the analysis because they have to account for the orientation of the pizza. So this diagram is actually showing you 2 different possible orientations. The cheese on orientation, where the pizza is straight up and down, and the light rays from the sun are hitting perpendicular to the pizza. And then there's crust on, where the pizza is like laying down parallel to the rays of the sun.
Like you would put it into the oven. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, yes. And that takes longer and reveals a more uneven bake. So ideally you need a cheese-on pizza at 0.32 astronomical units away from the sun, and then you can cook a DiGiorno with toppings, and it's a supreme.
Got it.
Not just a four cheese.
But then if you're holding it straight up, are they calculating? Oh my gosh, there's no gravity in space.
There is.
There is.
There is gravity.
Do they calculate?
But it just operates in different dimensions and at different strengths.
So just the peppers and the little black olives are just like wiggling in front of the pizza. It's just, it doesn't fall because it's frozen, I guess.
It's frozen, yes. And also the entire pizza is experiencing the same amount of gravity from the sun. So like it's in orbit.
Okay.
That has to be moving. In a natural process, it would need to be in orbit, but you can also imagine a technological process where you are maintaining its position.
Well, first, I'm imagining like there's like a spaceship in some way, and at the end of it, there's like a long pole, and it's like little hooks, like like little robot hooks, just like on each end of the pizza to just hold it up.
I think you might.
And then the second
4, like a diamond on a ring.
I was thinking that. I was
little...
like, well, maybe 2 on each side because the gravity, it's not gonna like necessarily just like drop down like it would on Earth, but 4 would be just like to maintain evenness for real.
To maintain the structure.
But did they consider? So this is at perpendicular to the sun, like. It's in front of the sun, but is there like a below? Is that a weird question to ask?
The sun is a sphere.
Yeah, so if you like, but can they imagine the sun on top of the pizza?
The sun is a sphere.
Oh, duh. So it's the same thing.
It's the same all around, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. So, keep that in mind, folks. If you are out in space and you're hungry and all you have is a frozen DiGiorno pizza.
Who's always in the space movies? It's Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Yeah. When you're stuck in space again.
Ryan. One of the Ryans.
Yeah. Is Ryan stuck in one right now?
If all you have is a DiGiorno pizza, you got to get yourself to 0.31 astronomical units.
Someone tell Matthew McConaughey. You could have had something in that wormhole, in the black hole.
After you pass through the throat. Hey there, it's me. Connie is checking on the new merch we're developing. That's right, we are excited to be working with queer and Black creators to finally get some good Pale Blue Pod merch going out there. We'll have satin-lined beanies to protect our hair while we look cool, a picnic blanket perfect for stargazing or lounging in the park this summer. I know, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm really excited for a handcrafted lunar calendar that gives you a little treat every day of the lunar month. Official pre-orders will be available starting next month, so be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, please, if you could be so kind, fill out the interest survey that I've put in the episode description, and that way we can get a sense for who wants what. You know me, I'm a scientist. I love more data. I love information, so please give me some of that. Thank you in advance. Speaking of thank yous, I want to say thank you so much to all of the patrons who support the show financially every month. We're an independent podcast, so we rely on your support to keep the show going. I want to give a special shout out and a huge thank you to our Sun-like stars, Scott Reynolds, Tom T., Nicole Bartlett, Ashley Shambo, and Bruce Sedloff. Thank you very much, my golden friends. If you want to join this awesome group of people and supporting this indie podcast, you can do that on Patreon, and then you'd get to hear your name on the show, make it onto our Patreon star chart, and get research notes for most episodes for $5 a month. The link is patreon.com/palebluepod. If a monthly donation isn't your thing, you could also become a supernova in the Pale Blue Pod sky by making a one-time donation at the PayPal link that's also in the episode description. And of course, if you can't support the show financially right now, we totally understand. The times, they are a-timin'. That's what I can say about current events. But if you would still like to help the pod out, you can do that by reviewing and rating us on whatever podcast platform you use. And of course, word of mouth is really powerful. So if you share an episode link with someone who you think would enjoy that specific episode, then you get to introduce a new friend to the universe, and I will thank you in advance. But no matter what you do, thank you for listening. We are honored to be a part of your week. My next message is a podcast recommendation. It's another show in the Multitude Collective, and it's called This Guy Sucked. It's a history podcast for haters by haters, where you can join historian Dr. Claire Aubin and a new expert every week to pull back the scholarly curtain on some of the world's biggest bummers. No dead person is safe, and the show's guests prove that the best part of understanding the past is criticizing it. They just put out, last month, an episode about Benjamin Franklin and why he sucked. So check it out. They've put out almost 100 episodes. It's new every Thursday, wherever you listen to your podcast. So check that out, or go to, again, the link in the episode description. I've put it right there for you. I'm trying to make it easy for you to check it out. All right, Connie is back. She says the merch is coming along well. I'm excited to share it with you all, so please fill out that survey in the episode description, and we will get back to discussing these April Fool's papers.
What's the next one?
The next one is called New Paradigms in Pasta. Ooh. Introducing pasta markers for enhanced inclusivity and productivity. This is by Julian Falcone and Nabanita Das. I do believe those are real names. And this is actually a follow-up on something from a previous year. This is a software package that you can use when you are making a scientific plot or a graph. You have little data markers, and you can choose the shape of the data markers, but the typical shapes are like a square or a triangle or a circle. This is a software package that you can use to make your data markers look like pasta shapes. That was the previous iteration. This update for enhanced inclusivity and productivity adds in gluten-free pasta markers.
Wow.
That, quote, incorporates the characteristic crumbling tendency of gluten-free foods in plots and graphs. And so they literally will I can't even say it. The data marker crumbles into pieces, it breaks up into tiny little pieces, and
it's animated?
No. In the graph, instead of being a solid piece, it just looks like little bits, tiny little dots around where the solid piece was. Oh my
gosh.
And sometimes it's crumblier than others. Mm-hmm. And what determines the crumbly factor is a few different variables, one of which is the length of the paper. That's to encourage concise writing. So the longer your paper gets, the more crumbly your gluten-free pasta data markers are. And so the bigger your data points look, and it's just harder to get a precise read on them. That's one variable. Another variable is the number of visible penguins in the African Penguin Live webcam at the Georgia Aquarium at the precise moment that the gluten-free pasta marker package is imported into the Jupyter notebook, the Python notebook that you use to make the relevant figures. So at the moment that you import this package and activate it, the package goes to this live webcam, counts how many penguins there are, and then uses that number to determine how crumbly the gluten-free pasta is.
Wow.
I love us. Wow. Astronomers are so nerdy. I love us.
How do you come up with that incredible specificity? Because it's not just that it's pasta markers, it's gluten-free pasta marker. This is the gluten-free pasta marker package. Yes. And the number of
It's
penguins,
an update. It's an update to the pasta package, so you can add the gluten-free marker. Yeah.
Yeah. But for this particular marker, it's the gluten-free one, but also how crumbly it is. But there are only 7 penguins today, so I don't know. It's
only 7 penguins, so it's not going to be that crumbly.
Yeah, it's so specific.
And then the reason they justify why there's like a whole section about celiac and like gluten-free movement.
Gotta give background,
Gotta have the introduction. They have a graph that plots using markers, glutinous pasta markers. They have a graph that shows the population of Germany from 2000 to like 2060. With the number of gluten-free diet, like the people who are on a gluten-free diet. And it's expected to surpass that number around the world of gluten-free people is supposed to surpass the population of Germany in like 2028 or 2027.
Yeah, it looks real close to where we are.
Yeah.
We're approaching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so that's why they decided to make the gluten-free update.
Gotcha. Again, awareness, like we need to be aware of how many people are requiring a gluten-free diet. I mean, to kick that over to the nutrition people, we got to see what they're writing because maybe they should look into it.
Yes, exactly.
Also, then I want to know what some of these people really study because the how do you get from what they actually study to gluten-free pasta markers is just fascinating to me. People contain multitudes.
Everybody's so creative. The next category is about compact objects and gravitational waves. So it's about black holes and the ripples that they make in the fabric of space-time when they move. Other things can also make gravitational waves. If they're sufficiently massive, we can detect them. It's like neutron stars. They can make gravitational waves.
Are they also compact objects?
Yes. Compact object just means this is a really dense object.
Okay.
So it's black holes and neutron stars and like maybe a really dense white dwarf or something. I don't know, but probably not. There were more papers in this section, but I cut a few of them out for time. I want to definitely talk about the paper called A Therapy Session with Sagittarius A Star. Just personally, I've never met any of the authors, but they do start their abstract by saying, herein we present the first successful interview with an astrophysical object, and excuse the fuck out of me.
Listen.
Did I not interview the whole Milky Way?
I know. And I just, the universe is really wide. So there were many firsts in many areas that just were not necessarily lost to historical record, but some just get more attention than others,
Yes. So I'll let this slide. They don't know me, I don't know them, so they don't know about the book. That's okay.
It's okay.
But I appreciate that they are also trying to tap into the mental, emotional state of these astronomical objects.
I mean, we really need people to be looking into this. Like, we need to make sure that they're okay.
Yes. And that is precisely the type of question that these researchers, these scholars, are trying to answer. They want to know about Sagittarius A Star, the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. Does it yearn? Does it have hopes and dreams? Is it completely fed up with how we write about it in our scientific papers?
Probably.
Yes. Actually, it seems like it is.
It's been misunderstood for so long, People are still getting to know it. And so I imagine there are many, Dumas articles about it that they're trying to just tamp down the rumors,
Their PR team's working on overdrive. Yes. They use this technology, this software that they developed themselves called Armchair. That is an acronym for Autonomous Research Mission for Characterizing Abstract Intelligences with Radio. Because, of course, it would be with radio waves. Patent pending, by the way, this armchair technology.
Okay.
It is a cutting-edge process that carefully modulates in-falling signals and allows them to directly communicate with the black hole at about 10 to the 10th power times the speed of light. That gives them a two-way latency delay of about 1 hour. I would love to tell you more about it. However, the technology is proprietary, and due to an inordinate amount of NDAs, no further details can be included.
Well,
it's a direct quote from the paper.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what they think is happening with the Milky Way. Like, they thought Milky Way was under an NDA with you, and so, like, she couldn't talk about it, so Sagittarius A couldn't tell them that it happened. You know, like, something with the NDA. So maybe Milky Way has an NDA on Sagittarius A, and can't talk about it, you know?
Maybe. But the NDAs were all about the tech process, not what they found. Because they released everything that they found.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what they found was that the black hole, Sagittarius A star, complains a lot about the food quality being quite low. The stellar material and the gas and dust that the black hole is accreting, even though its accretion rate is quite high, it says it's not actually happy with the food it's eating. It's it is eating a lot, but it knows that it's not high quality food, so that's a complaint.
I understand.
It especially complained about the metallicity. Just not enough metallicity.
When
not
there's
crunchy
just
enough,
it's
I guess.
not, yeah, it's just like everything just lacks flavor. Like I can understand getting really tired of that, you know?
Yes. It also really did not like its name.
Fair.
It didn't like that it wasn't consulted. And the paper said that when they asked the black hole for its name, it gave an unintelligible sound.
It's like we got to translate it, you know? Like we're just trying to like we got to identify you, but we don't know how to translate it yet. So like if we could communicate more, this is why we're trying to, reach out so that we can learn your language and like finally really learn how to pronounce that word.
Yes, exactly. And very upset with the lack of privacy. The fact that we are constantly monitoring and presumably other creatures also constantly monitoring. Yeah, the black hole didn't like that. So at the end of that therapy session, I hope that Sagittarius A star felt seen, which is rare for black holes.
Yeah. It's like finally being understood, really getting to tell your story your way. Unimaginable. Like, I really hope that we can learn more and finally get to that true name and to learn their true selves.
Yes, indeed. Fingers crossed for them. The next paper about compact objects or gravitational waves is entitled Mexican Burrowing Toads as Gravitational Wave Detectors. I would now like you to scroll down in the document.
I see the little guy. There's a little guy right there.
Isn't he so cute?
I see the little guy.
He's
That's a Mexican burrowing toad?
Yes.
It's a squat, like deeply purple, but like with a sheen and then like orange speckling. Are you kidding me?
It's so cute.
Are you kidding me?
If I were a witch, I would want this familiar on my shoulder all day long.
At all times. With the little beaded eyes.
Yes. It sees everything, I bet. I'm in love. I'm so in love. So this paper is about how this specific type of toad has a call that sounds a lot like the, quote, chirps, unquote, that gravitational waves give off. And this is because we have decided to present gravitational wave data sonically. I think in order to like really distinguish it from light waves, which we can see, we take in the like waveform, the frequency of the gravitational wave, and then we bump it up to a frequency that humans can hear, and we analyze that chirping sound. Their idea is that the Mexican burrowing toad can actually be sensitive to gravitational waves. If the gravitational waves, they can do this, they cause disturbances in magnetic fields, and we know these toads have magnetoreception, so they can sense magnetic fields. And so what these authors did, it's Frederick Hessman and Christian Juice. That's probably Dutch. They went out to a pond that had a lot of these toads, and they recorded them, and then later analyzed their sound to see if there was any sort of shift in the toads' calls. And then they cross-referenced that sound with the data from LIGO at the same time. And there was no shift in the toads' vocalizations, and there was also no gravitational wave event detected. And so they determined that that is a sign that you can use these toads as gravitational wave detectors, which they say would be an inexpensive way to support the operation of optical interferometric gravitational wave detector facilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got to feed all the how many toads do you need? You just need one, or you need like a bunch?
I think you need a whole pond of them.
You got to maintain the pond.
Well, if the gravitational waves can be quite large, and that's why the LIGO detectors and the Virgo detector arms, they are quite large, and they really need to give enough space for the wave to pass through them.
Gotcha.
So I think you need a large array of frogs. Misha, if we could get a frog sound, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we're keeping on this sound train because the next paper is called What Does the Universe Sound Like? By Francesco Lacavelli. And for this paper, Francesco converted gravitational wave signals into sound, very similar to how we do to detect the chirps, and went like above and beyond because he added on more layers to it and turned it into like a white noise almost, but better. So there is a link to this. It's about 10-minute long audio that you can play. And Francesco says, I hope you enjoy the sound. It is a great substitute for white noise, allowing you to sleep cradled by the universe. Unlike artificial white noise generators, this is the real deal. Actual space-time distortions averaged over a year of cosmic violence brought down to human audible amplitudes through the magic of numerical scaling. So check it out.
Only 10 minutes. He needs to put that up on YouTube for a 24-hour stream. He would break it in like Lo-Fi Girl.
I know, yeah, but like you can loop it yourself. I played it. I thought it was okay. My cat did not. Well, one of my cats did not like it.
Oh.
The other cat stayed asleep.
Okay.
So test it out.
Yeah, not too bad. One is unconcerned by the cosmic violence of the universe.
Yes. Yeah, and I bet you know which one was unconcerned.
Was it Cosmo?
No, he was very concerned.
Oh. Yeah, it makes more sense that Spats is just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, he's just chill about everything. Okay, we have two more papers that I want to discuss. One of them gets the Brevity Award because its abstract is one word, and the paper itself was like a page, like 1.3 pages.
Okay.
Maybe. It's called Do Papers with Titles Ending in a Question Mark Usually Have the Answer No? This is by Daniel Stern and Brian Greffenstedt. Ironically, or perhaps like so fittingly, the one-word abstract is yes.
Gotcha. Love
Paper
that.
titles ending in a question mark do usually have the answer no.
Love that.
They went through the 4,207 papers that were posted to the archive between January 1st and March 18th. Not even 3 months. And it's 4,000 papers.
Wow.
Of all of those papers, about 1.3% of them had titles that ended in a question mark, and they had to remove a few of them because they were kind of like rhetorical questions almost, or they were way too complicated to have a simple answer. But they eventually had a sample that they went through and determined if the main conclusion of the paper was a yes, no, or maybe answer to the question that the title posed. And they found that most papers answered the question with no. I think it was like 14 out of, no, not most papers, the plurality of papers. So I think it was 14 out of 35 answered the question with no. The next, I think it was like 10 or something, papers answered with maybe, and about a quarter, 9 of them answered with yes.
Huh.
So.
Well, is it now 10?
Yeah. No, because it's only it
is from
only
that day,
until March 18th.
Because between the 18th and the 1st, who knows how many? They'd have to count again and include their own.
And I wonder how much that would change it. But their answer now just belongs in the roughly like 25% that say yes. So that's the Brevity Award. And then the last paper I want to talk about, what I think is the most hilarious and interesting paper of April Fools. And it actually leads beautifully into next week's topic, is called The First Detection of Exoplanetary Cannabinoids, evidence for THC and CBD in the atmosphere of K2-18b. I need to read you the author list.
Oh, boy.
And then I will need to read you some of their institutions. This paper is by Amy J. Kism, Mary Jane Vanderpot.
Hey, Mary Jane.
Blaise P. Hasho.
Wow.
Hans Joachim Grassman. Bonnie McToke. Bud Wellington Cush. Maria Herba Verde. And Puff D. Magic.
Wow.
These brilliant scholars.
Yeah. Are these doctor or not necessarily?
You do not have to have a PhD to publish.
Okay. But it could be Dr. Puff D Magic.
It could very well be Dr. Puff D Magic.
Gotcha.
Dr. Magic potentially does hail from the Hayes Analysis Network worldwide. So I think coming from more of a private institution.
Got it.
But let's see. We have represented here people from the Coffee Shop Institute for Atmospheric Research, the Dutch Foundation for Elevated Sciences, this is in French, the Centre National de la Recherche Très relaxante. That's not real. That's not. I didn't say that right. But like, it's like for like the most relaxed research. Yes, exactly. Oh wait, I feel like I need to look up what this means in German. Because it's the Max Planck Institute for Entspannungsforschung. And what is that?
Bless you.
Relaxation research.
Gotcha.
The Max Planck Institute for Relaxation Research.
I would love to go to the Max Planck Institute of Relaxation Research. That's honestly, yeah, I would love that.
Yes.
I need a tour.
Would you also like to go to the German Center for Green Chemistry or the Royal Observatory of the Highlands in Edinbaked, Scotland?
Wow.
There's the Canadian Center for Chill Exoplanetology. And the International Consortium for Recreational Biosignatures.
It's just recreational, it's not medical biosignatures. But you might need a medical card,
It depends on the like on if you cross galaxy, you might cross a border. Recreational biosignatures, because the entire premise of this paper is that if there were a planet inhabited by very chill people who partook in this particular pastime, that not only would you be able to detect their signs of life, i.e. biosignature, but you would be able to detect in their atmosphere signs of their fun, i.e. a recreational biosignature. And so they claim that they have detected for the first time this signature on a real planet that exists, K2-18b. They did this supposedly with 420 hours of JWST data.
Sure.
And 420 appears a lot. It's they have a 4.2 sigma detection at 4.2 micrometers. Like that's not even a known feature, but they really go deep into it. Like that's what I love about this paper. They have a section, a brief history of biosignature science. They talk about why cannabinoids would be a good biosignature because they are molecularly complex. So they're not going to break down easily and they're not going to just form easily through random chance. So they really are justifying it. I'm going through the paper now, but maybe I can't remember which graph I put in.
The cannabis habitable zone where exoplanets get baked.
Yes, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
So they have this whole spectral analysis with JWST data of the atmosphere of K2-18b, and they find in the atmosphere both THC and CBD.
So that part is fake.
This whole thing is fake.
But the planet is real.
But the planet is real, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they do have an explicit disclaimer at the end of the paper. But K2-18b, the real planet, is orbiting an M-dwarf star, and it's a mini Neptune, which we've discussed before. And it seems to be one of the watery mini Neptunes, so maybe even a super Earth. And what we know about mini Neptunes / super Earths is that they tend to be closer to their stars and are more likely to be tidally locked. So one side of the planet is always facing the star and one side is always facing away. And there's this line called the terminator that separates the two. And so in the paper, they're even analyzing the differences between the day side and the night side. And the day side is where a lot of the THC is concentrated, and the night side is where a lot of the CBD is concentrated. And they have whole things about the THC to CBD ratio for the sleepy ones. Yes. So then they go through all of this and they define the cannabis.
The hybrids are on the Terminator line.
Yes. So they go through all of this and they determine the cannabis habitable zone where exoplanets get baked. And it's more specific than the circumstellar habitable zone where the temperature is just right for liquid water, because cannabis is more sensitive to temperature than water. And so it can't be too cold or the THC will crystallize. It can't be too hot or it will decarb and will you won't be able to use it enough if it's too hot already. It's like baking without you being there to smoke it. And then K2-18b is right in the middle of the cannabis habitable zone based on how much flux it gets from its star and its mass. So it's just right for cultivating cannabis.
You mentioned it was a water planet, and I just imagined like a bong with like a sloshy liquid plasma inside.
Oh, I don't think it's a plasma. Not high energy to. You can have cold plasmas, but I don't know if they have the energy to ionize the material. But perhaps. Oh, imagine.
Tell me.
Doing a bong rip with plasma, because then, as we discussed in the Space from. Oh, maybe that's not come out yet. In the Space from A to Z episode, we talk about Alphen waves and how when you have plasma, you're dealing with fluid dynamics plus magnetic and electric activity.
That's what made me think of it.
Imagine like a static shock bong rip.
Lord.
A magnetic...
I think you'd have to be on K2-18b. Day side only. And then just walk over to the night side to come down.
Yes. I imagine that on that planet, there's like a whole tourism industry that just cycles you back and forth.
Yeah, this is another, just like a train just goes around. This is another Exolore episode, by the way.
Bestie, it was an Exolore episode.
Yes!
I did an Exolore episode with a legit cannabis researcher, and we imagined a world of glittery mushroom trees. And the trees were sentient beings that couldn't physically move, but they could transfer their consciousnesses to other physical locations. Oh. And also there were dragons that would, like, because the way that new trees could get planted is that the dragons would like pick up the tree's seeds, and they were super hallucinogenic. So the dragon would like love to pick up these seeds and then fly around and like a piece of gum after it wasn't, giving them the high anymore. They would drop it and then a new tree would grow.
Oh. Cute.
Yeah. So this was an Exolore episode.
Go check it out,
I'll put
guys.
it in the research notes, but everyone check it out. But this does lead into next week's episode, because I think this might be the first time we've ever put out an episode on 420. So Connie and I are going to do a very fun episode about plants and greenery in space, and we might turn it into a fun little game appropriate for the day.
Moiya loves a game.
I love a game, and I love other things too. And just join us next week to see what happens.
Nothing that I want to remember. Nothing I want to remember, because I won't.
Okay, so there won't be whatever we cover next week will not be on the quiz.
Great. Thank you.
So that's all the April Fool's papers that I wanted to talk about. Announcing next week's episode was not an April Fool's joke, so check back in. But, whether you're a prankster or not, whether you've ever, been pranked or not, you are space.
Absolutely. Have a great one. Pale Blue Pod is hosted by Dr. Moiya McTier and Connie Gibbs. Moiya created the show with the funny and talented Karine Caputo with help from the Multitude Productions team.
Our theme music is by Evan Johnston, our cover art by Shay McMullen, and our audio editing is handled by the superlative Misha Stanton.
Stay in touch with us and the universe by following @PaleBluePod on Instagram or check out our website, palebluepod.com.
I, Moiya, am Go Astro Mo on all socials.
And I'm @ConStar24 on Instagram.
If you want to support our show, join our community at patreon.com/palebluepod or send this episode to your family and friends group chats.
We're a member of Multitude, an independent podcast collective and production studio. If you like Pale Blue Pod, you will love the other shows that live on our website at multitude.productions.
Thanks for listening to Pale Blue Pod. We'll be back next week.